November is coming to an end. We're a little early this week because of U.S. Thanksgiving. So next time we come back, it will be December. Just as kind of the game season is winding down. So I wanted to look back, as we do every month, at our favorite PC games of November. Daniel.
It's Fallout for me. I mean, there's really no question. And Battlefront, real good, but Fallout.
How come? Like, why Fallout above like Legacy of the Void or Battlefront or anything else that came out?
Legacy of the Void is also. I'm not finished with Legacy of the Void yet, but I mean, for me, that would probably be, well, arguably my number 2. But man, like, I don't like the story of StarCraft at all anymore. Like, it's gotten,
that was the one that was your limit?
It's gotten real bad.
Okay, that's disappointing.
But I mean, the campaign design is good, but not as varied as I would like. The multiplayer, I'm just too old and slow for anymore. But I do want to try out the co-op. So I mean, at this point in time, when I haven't completely played all of StarCraft, it's kind of no contest for me. Fallout is just so all absorbing for me, all consuming. Just I can wander that wasteland for hours and hours and hours, and I'm really looking forward to messing with a bunch of mods.
Yeah.
Just there's like no question for me that I'm going to be playing for that game for a long time. As soon as I have time to play games that I don't have to play for work anymore.
I'm actually really hoping the DLC stuff that comes out is going to be more geared toward me. I might have talked about this a little bit already, but like I love that the DLC they did for Fallout 3 was instant story stuff, like in a new location with new characters, with different themes and different focuses. And that to me is like, that's the Mitch Dyer Fallout. Like Fallout 4 is so big and so absorbing that I kind of get lost in it. And I'm like, I don't know where to go. What do I do? I'm bored.
I'm kind of hoping they go less in that direction and more in the direction of adding new systems to the existing world. I mean, like, and
think about me, Dan.
And I mean, maybe you know, in the way that Skyrim did with patches, like they patched in horse combat.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
They patched in like a bunch of just new features for the existing world.
Well, that's why that game was so popular for so long.
Right. But I like the instant stuff. That's all well and good. But that world is, like you said, so big, and so like there's so much stuff in there. I would just love to see them do stuff to enhance that and make that even more replayable and re-explorable.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be alone in that vote.
Right.
Lewis, how do you feel about November? Pretty slow month.
Yeah, I mean,
not a lot going on.
Battlefront and Fallout definitely took the cake for most people.
Choose one. Choose.
I don't know. Well, I would go with Fallout 4.
Any particular, like anything different than Dan? Like, did you fall into any of the crafting stuff or anything?
Fallout 4 is just so expansive, and that's what I like about it. You can just get lost doing the most mundane stuff. Battlefront is more, you know what you're getting into. It's
jump in, shoot some dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I like the story-driven stuff, and that's why I play a lot of adventure games. So it's Fallout for me.
Yeah, see, I'm a simpler man. I'm going with Battlefront. Battlefront was the one for me. I think Fallout 4 is the more ambitious game. I think it's the more accomplished game, but Battlefront is everything I've wanted from that game for like a decade. And when it was announced that DICE was going to do Battlefront, I was like, man, like I hope they don't just do Battlefield. I hope they really do make a Battlefront game. And they did. And I think that left a lot of people disappointed, maybe because it lacked some of the systemic depth that Battlefield is known for.
Well, it also pissed off some of the old Battlefront fans that it didn't have a lot of the content they were expecting.
Oh, it didn't have the campaign that Star Wars Battlefront never had.
Space fights. I mean, it sort of had a
Battlefront 2 did.
Thing.
It was like...
It was still kind of
But it was just multiplayer maps. The thing that people forget is like it was multiplayer maps in a structured order.
Which I would still be okay with that if they gave me some extra single player like powers to make me feel like I am the star of that.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference for me between a single player game and a multiplayer game in a lot of ways. Like if you can go through the same area, it's just I want to feel like I'm the star of that show when it's single player.
Where in multiplayer, you're this disposable, expendable soldier, and you're just going to smash against the war machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Man, November was a good month for PC gamers. Like,
it really was.
We didn't go deep into like Legacy of the Void we talked about before. I'm still super excited to get to it.
Oh, it's real good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I was sounded a little bit down on it earlier, but it's really good.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate finally came to PC after a little bit of a wait. Have you played much on PC?
I have not touched it.
I haven't either. I've been bad about it. But honestly, I really want to check it out.
I'm just not a big Assassin's Creed fan anymore.
Me neither.
I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I'm not alone. I didn't want to get too deep into it in case I was like gonna be alone. But like, after 3, 3 was my turning point where I was like, I can't do this anymore.
No, I mean, like it's not that I I would think they're bad games, or I wouldn't want to go near them. It's just there's so many other things to play. I'm just never. It's far enough down my list. I'm never going to get to it.
Same with me. I mean, The Witcher is that for me. Dragon Age has been that for me for over a year at this point. I still have this like weird deluded fantasy that I'm actually going to go back and play Inquisition.
I'll get to that like 80-hour game any day now.
Any minute. As soon as I go back and finish Heart of the Swarm, and
it's just an embarrassment of riches. Like it's
yeah.
Like we sound kind of glib about it. It's like, oh, you know, I don't care about that game. It's like, no, we do care about those games. It's just there's just so much other stuff that we also care about.
Yeah, one part of it is me like. I take it back. My game of the month for November is Dota 2, which I fell back into again. And it's like I just keep forgetting how good that game is every time I'm away from it. And that game, it continues to be like the most all-absorbing thing in my life. I continue to just spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours.
And put Dota stickers on your girlfriend's laptop.
She put that there. Also, it's a Final Fantasy character. It's actually Kimari from Final Fantasy X. They just stole from Final Fantasy. Like all of Dota's art, it's just stolen. It's just ripped up from elsewhere.
Inspired by.
Inspired by.